Audrey, and joining me now live on the South Shore's Midday Report, we have State Representative Stephen Xiarhos, the 5th Barnstable District. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Of course. It's nice to hear your voice. Happy to be on.
Oh, thank you very much. You know what? I just ran a story right before we came on, and I was talking with State Representative Dave DeCoste of Norwell, and he was talking about all the complaints they've had about the plans to close down the Pappas Rehabilitation Hospital in Canton. He also mentioned, of course, a little closer to you in Pocasset, the area with the mental health area, and they're going to close that down too, and people are just going to be left stranded. I know this is something that you're also very concerned about.
Absolutely. Thank you. And Dave is a great rep. And on this issue, everybody's on the same page. That doesn't always happen in politics, but boy, all the legislators on the Cape, South Shore, Southeastern Mass, and all over the Commonwealth, I would presume, are on the same page. This is wrong. Mental health matters. It's just like any other illness. And imagine if we had to wait in an emergency room for 5 days, 8 days, 10 days to have a heart procedure. That wouldn't happen. But in mental health, that's what's happening now. I was just at the Cape Cod Hospital emergency room this weekend. I saw 5 people waiting, a nurse watching and taking care of them in the ER, and they're still waiting to find a place. So if we close the only mental health care facility on Cape Cod and the island, it would make it even worse. So this is a bad idea. The money is there. We just have to spend it wiser.
That's right. You know, it's interesting. So tomorrow, as I mentioned, after I had spoken with Dave DeCoste, there is a rally planned at the State House tomorrow to protest closing the facility in Pocasset, also the hospital in Canton, and for cutting the number of caseworkers to help. So It's going to be, I think a lot of people are going to turn out for this. And it seems, again, in the state, when you look at the numbers in the budget, as I had mentioned, it seems like a very small amount of money to pay for services that benefit so many.
Absolutely. Good point. Remember, our state budget is $58 billion with a B. It could even go higher under the governor's proposed budget, but that would not include this. It's cutting these essential services for human beings, our friends and relatives, is a bad idea. The money is there. It just has to be spent wisely, as we've said. And also think about it. If you're closing these facilities on Cape Cod and in Canton, where are these people going to go? They'll end up in emergency rooms, which are already filled, and that is really not their specialty. Also, like you mentioned, they're cutting the caseworkers. These people dedicate their lives to taking care of people when they're at their worst. I've seen it personally. I was a police officer for 40 years. I've seen people commit suicide, sadly, and I've also seen them being talked out of it. And it comes from people that care. And, you know, we toured the facility in Pocasset. It's a beautiful facility. Those workers care. We've had community meetings led by, you know, the senator and the state representatives, great people. And I even stood out at the Rotary, at the Bourne Rotary, in the freezing cold with all these dedicated co-workers fighting for their jobs so they can help protect and serve their fellow Massachusetts residents in need. So, yes, tomorrow I'll be there. I encourage everybody to come to Boston. That's the People's House, and participate in stopping this from happening.
We're hearing that the governor and her people may be taking another look at this. Are you hearing the same thing?
Yes, and it makes sense, because this does not. This would only save a small amount of money in the big picture, but it would actually cause so much harm and put a strain on law enforcement and firefighters and public safety. People have mental health issues, just like any other health issue. They need to be helped. That's what government does. That's why we pay taxes, so we can help people in need. This is a bad idea. It needs to stay open, both of them. And as Rep. Vieira has said, and Senator Fernandez and all of us on the Cape, we want to see the Pocasset Mental Health Center that's there not only stay open, but expand it. There's room in that facility to care for more people, and that is the ultimate goal. Keep it open and make it even better, because there are people that need it, especially in these tough times, and that's what we do as legislators, and that's what we do really as fellow human beings.
And that's true, and this is an issue that we are going to be following up with all the local legislators that are pushing so hard for this. Representative Stephen Xiarhos, the 5th Barnstable, thank you so much for joining us today.
It's my honor. Thank you, Christine.
Thank you.
God bless.
God bless. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.